Hey, I'm Jordan Jones with Bible and Archaeology. It's that time of the year again. The holiday season is upon us, so we wanted to bring you an extra special countdown video, listing 5 of the biggest misconceptions surrounding the Christmas story. We all know the basic story, right? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, wise men, a star, and so on. But what about the details? Where was Jesus born? How many wise men were there? And why do we end up with December 25th? Before we start, it's important to note that while we have 4 Gospels, we only have 2 birth narratives, one in Matthew and one in Luke. While the 2 birth stories have mainly the same ideas and follow the same general storyline, when you read them, you'll notice that they vary in important information, like numbers, persons, and locations. However, over time, the differences of Matthew and Luke have been blended to create the harmonized Christmas nativity scene that we know today. In this video, we want to untangle a few of these harmonizations as we work through 5 common misconceptions about Christmas. Now, we have additional videos that go into greater detail about some of these misconceptions, so if you're looking for more, check those out. They'll be linked throughout the video and down in the description. Misconception number 1. Where was Jesus born? The classic nativity image puts Jesus in a manger, or a feeding trough, in a stable, as there was no crib for a bed. While these traditions come from Luke 2:7, check out our video about the inn for more on this tradition, Matthew surprisingly says nothing of where Jesus was born. He does report that the wise men visit Jesus in an oikia, the Greek word for house, but he says nothing specific about the location of Jesus' birth. While some point to this as an error in the biblical story, others argue that it could possibly be the same location, as in houses, animals could be kept on the ground floor of the building. So if the inn or guest rooms were full, it's possible that they might have stayed in the stables portion of the building. So was he born in the stables, or in a house, or perhaps even his own home? The story is unclear. Misconception number 2. Who visited Jesus? You're probably saying wise men and shepherds both, right? However, who shows up actually depends on which gospel you're reading. Luke 2:8, there are no wise men or magi, it's just the shepherds. Likewise in Matthew, no shepherds, just wise men. The 2 stories give us different answers. Longtime viewers of this channel will recognize this question from our Nativity series. Click on this link or the link in the description to learn more. Now, we'll revisit the wise men later in number 4. But first, let's spend some time discussing the shepherds and the angel seen in Luke 2. According to Luke, the shepherds are tending to their flocks when an angel of the Lord appears before them, telling of Jesus' birth. The shepherds immediately set off to Bethlehem to find the baby Jesus. Again, there's no star or magi in this story. Rather, the expectations and holiness come from the angels announcing the birth. The shepherds also serve a symbolic role in aligning Jesus with David and Bethlehem, a goal seen in many of Luke's narrative choices. Misconception number 3, the star. This misconception surrounds the story of that star that reportedly led the wise men to where Jesus was born. At some point, you've probably thought to yourself, a star in the sky, how'd they know where to stop? Today we know stars move in an orderly, structured fashion and can't just stop over a single house, making this part of the story seem implausible. But what you may not know is that using a star as a guidance device in birth narratives is not an uncommon literary trope in the ancient world. By using a heavenly body such as a star, a sign, or a planet, great power and expectation is thrust upon the one heralded by the celestial sign. These stories pop up everywhere, such as the story of Mithridates or the traditions around Alexander. In line with this, according to tradition and their usage of the stars, it's thought that the Magi were astrologers or diviners that used the sky for interpretation. Additionally, much like the shepherds play a symbolic role for Luke, the star may also be here to serve another purpose, acting not just as a guide, but fulfilling the oracle of Balaam in Numbers 24:17, that a star shall come from Jacob. Misconception 4, 3 wise men? Thanks to Christmas carols and long-held traditions, the classic nativity image is that there were 3 wise men who come to see Jesus. But how many were there really? Matthew 2 is where the story of Herod and the Magi is located. But if you look again, you may be surprised to see there's never a number associated with them. So why do we have 3? The tradition of there being 3 comes from the 3 gifts that are brought: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. As discussed earlier, the shepherds and the angels in Luke are meant to attest to and affirm the importance of the birth of Jesus. Here in Matthew, the Magi may serve a related purpose. It's similar to when the gospel writers have a Roman guard called Jesus, the Son of God, at his death. Having diviners pay homage and be overwhelmed with joy is an incredible statement within Matthew's account about the importance of this individual. Even the bad guys can't deny his power. Check out our video about the wise men to learn more here. For misconception number 5, we're going to go in a slightly different direction. Rather than focusing on the 2 different narratives, let's look at the date of Christmas itself. How did we get December 25th? Jesus' birth doesn't seem to have been celebrated before at least the year 200 CE. It appears that in order to distance themselves from Roman or pagan worship, early Christians didn't usually celebrate holidays or hold big festivals. Origen, a Christian writer from Alexandria who lived in the late 2nd and 3rd centuries CE, even goes so far as to dismiss birthday celebrations as pagan rituals. And it's not until the 4th century that we have references to 2 widely recognized dates for Jesus' birth: December 25th in the Western Roman Empire and January 6th in the East. But how did they settle on these dates? Many see a connection with the midwinter holiday Saturnalia, a celebration of the winter solstice which occurred around this time, leading some scholars to argue that Christmas either usurped or was spun off from this holiday. However, others point to the extra-biblical tradition that both Jesus' conception and death are on the same calendar day, leading to the end of December as a proposed date. That wraps up our countdown of 5 of the biggest Christmas misconceptions. Remember to like and subscribe, and comment down below if there's a misconception you think we missed. From all of us here at Bible and Archaeology, until next time.